access to receive messages of clarity, guidance, and love. As channeler, psychotherapist, and author, Noemi Grace has an intimate dialogue with the divine on your behalf. Lisa Berry, creator of the show Light on Living, will be co-hosting as live callers ask their burning question on self-love, self-healing, deepening relationships, areas of struggle, and next steps. By simply listening in, you're receiving wisdom that will lead to sacred stability from every channeled message that Noemi delivers. Join us now as we give you access to angels and grace. Good day. Hello, everyone. Hello, Noemi.
Hello, Lisa.
I'm still loving that word access. I just think it's like the best gift anybody could receive. Like, we all want access to something. So it's still jumping out at me. I just love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you saw that word was, you saw those two A words, access and angels. And so today we're going to be actually talking about angels.
Yes, and people would think that we actually talk about angels every show because it's called Access to Angels and Grace, but we actually don't. This is a very special, big build-up show all about angels, and I'm going to really let you take the lead here. I'm just going to, as it comes to me, just kind of ask and feel and accept, but I'm really excited to where the angels are taking you, or you're taking us to them.
Yeah, where they're taking all of us. And so I found it so interesting that you kept saying, when are you going to channel the angels? And I'm on the show. And I was like, well, that's not really sort of my thing. I talk to the divine. But you were so clear that the angels are here. And you were so clear on the title of Access to Angels. And so you actually got me to be open to finding out about that and talking to the divine about it. And so today I want to read a portion of a message I channeled from the divine very recently about talking to angels. Instead of reading, usually I do a reading from my book, An Intimate Dialogue with God. But today I'm going to read something because I asked about the angels. I said, well, I can go to Source and get a response from Source about how to talk to the angels. And, the angels are here. So, and the angels do want to talk to us. So I'm just going to read pieces of this. So it may seem a little choppy just because I'm jumping around because it is rather long and want to have some time to maybe do some channeling. So here's what the divine says about this. Angels are here to support you always. You each have an affinity, a connection, a resonant vibration with some angels. We will teach you all how to communicate with the angels. And I said, here and there, now I'm listening. And then the answer was, this is the key, listening. If you desire communication, you must first listen. And before you can hear anything, you must free yourself of the things that would interfere with your listening. The things that are contrary to listening and to the messages you seek to receive. You must resonate at the frequency of the message you wish to receive, like a fine-tuned instrument, always singing its song in perfect pitch. So resonate at that frequency. So then they talk a little bit more. Let go of all that weighs you down. It is not that important, yet you perseverate over it. You ruminate and beat yourself up. We never intended for you humans to beat yourself up. We are never judging you. Yes, some will judge that message and be afraid to embrace it, but let go of that too and turn your attention to the vibration you wish to receive. And then there's some practical information. If you wish to talk to angels, read about the angels, learn about the angels. There are many excellent websites and books. We endorse them all the true ones. Go to a site, read about a book about angels. Does it fill you with love? If so, it is speaking truth. Love and service form the backbone of the angels. And of course, they have no bones. I'm so sorry. This is handwritten, and I'm at the moment not being able to read my
I have
own
that trouble
handwriting.
all the time reading my own handwriting.
Yes. Okay. So yes, they said you read and you will discover which angels you resonate with. And they said that I have a connection with Gabriel, the messenger, and Michael, the original luminous warrior. But each one has connections with different. So we're talking about the archangels today. There are guardian angels. There are different kinds of angels. But we're starting at the top. So we're talking about the archangels. And they mentioned my connection with Gabriel and Michael, and said that Gabriel has a message for all of us, and that the angels are listening and open and willing. And they talked about Lisa having a connection with different angels than I do, and they said we encourage her to read about them and see which ones spark a fire in her heart. Which ones connect deeply and resonate with her. And that's such a key. And then there's this other beautiful piece that they add on the end. Love yourself fully. This helps you connect to the angels, which are formed in love for service to humanity. And those who are willing to be of service will be served by the angels, even if they are unaware of it. And so some keys here that were really standing out for me, and then you can maybe add if there's anything, Lisa, from you, is the listening, the willingness, and loving yourself, because the angels are all about love. And so if we are at the vibration of love, now we're vibrating where the angels are. They're always seeing from love. They're always speaking love. Even when Michael takes the sword and slays, he's a luminous warrior. He's a light being. He's a light warrior, and that the warrior is the love warrior of love. And so, I just really loved what they said, that the angels are here for all of us, and that we can learn to listen, but we got to listen. We're not going to hear angels if we don't make the space and the time to listen.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. When you had shared earlier, because I was like, oh yeah, Noemi, you do the angels, and you're like, well, you have to get to meet the angels too, and I was like, okay, and then when you said something so important to me, that was, well, Lisa, if you want to do this, you do have to make the time and space, and it stopped me in my tracks. I was like, ooh, I got caught, because I was like, I have not been, and so how could I possibly have this connection? And I love that it says that angels were formed in love to be of service. That is big for me, because I think what I feel like they're just, they're floating around doing their thing, and they're like, pick me, I want to be of service, and we're not well, we are, hopefully, but we could be more. Like, go to them. They're saying, like, we are here. It's like they're holding their wing, their hand out, and that's, yes, we have to listen to go, okay, that's who's here for me right now. I can go to them. I could be helped. I could have somebody here. I could be heard.
And another key is, of course, asking. And this what you're sharing reminds me. I had this angel reading once, and the woman pulls the card with these angels that are they're staring off into they're just staring. They're looking completely bored. And the thing was, ask for help.
Aww.
And I had not been asking for help. So the angels are not going to interfere. Neither does the divine. All of the spiritual realm is not going to interfere in our lives. Every once in a while we might hear about a divine intervention, but generally speaking, they're not going to interfere. So we need to ask. And if you ask, you will receive. It may not look like how you think, or it may not be in that instant that you ask. I mean, I prayed a prayer and took 11, 12 years to answer, and I'm here as a result of that prayer. But so also trusting that the answer will come, because we have to be that resonant vibration. Go ahead.
Yes, the way you just said divine intervention, I totally just finally understood what that meant. It never clicked in, but the way you said it, I was listening, and I was like, oh my gosh, because you said the divine intervention, divine never intervenes. The way you said that, I was like, oh wow, we do want a divine, we want the angels to not intervene, but to be of service. So I like the way that you said that, because it hit for me. I was like, hey, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's such a gift, and there's so much help. That's one of the things I've learned since I've been able to have these dialogues with the divine, with source, with God, however you want to call that, is that there's so much help out there already, and it's available for us. But for the most part, we're not tapping into it. They said we're focusing on things that take away from our ability to listen, and we obsess and ruminate and beat ourselves up. That was in that message, from the divine. And so there's so much help. There's so much access that's available, but we're not accessing
And
it.
is it ever off limits? Is there anything that if anybody was thinking, yeah, but I can't ask for help about this, or I shouldn't ask, or they can't help me with this? Is there anything off limits?
I'm certainly not aware of anything that's off limits. I mean, whatever it is, even if it is intimacy issues or things like that, we were created from source with the ability for that. So I would say there's always help available. We're human. Anything that we can experience in the human form, there's always help available.
I love that. That's actually so positive and so supportive, like what you were talking about. And when you mention about resonating at the frequency, we have to, I think what I heard in there was, if you feel love, and that's with truth, then you can, then it's right. So is that the frequency that we're aiming for, to be, to listen and hear them? Should we get the vibration of love first?
Yes, absolutely. There was even at the end, love yourself fully. This helps you connect to the angels who were formed in love for service to humanity. So, yeah, I mean, loving ourselves. Love yourself more every day. Love the world. Love is the essence. It is the element of which the angels are created. We're created.
And what happens if we are not feeling love? Like, we're like, oh, I hate the world right now. I hate my life and I hate myself. How do we jump into a frequency that we can start, in that love vibration?
That's a great question. And there's this one thing I do is called the Divine Love is Self-Love Meditation.
Oh.
We definitely have some feedback here, unfortunately, today. Let me turn my mic down.
Okay.
Let's see if that helps. I don't know on whose end it is, but
it sounds clear on mine. But yes. Oh, see, look, I can listen break, and you aren't. Is that better for you? Oh, yeah, here I am. Checking out the love vibration meditation. How to love yourself.
Yeah,
How to jump
I hear
into
it no matter who's talking. Okay, great. So I can deal with the frequency. Thank you. Okay. So love. Yes. So we're not always in love. We're not always feeling it. We're not always hearing it. We're not always living it. And that's part of the human experience. We go in and out of love. We go in and out of so many things. And so there's this beautiful meditation that I do. And maybe let's do it right now between now and the commercial.
Okay, do we have time? Okay, let's do it.
We'll do a really abridged version. And so open your heart. So start first breathing, and breathe into your heart. Just don't get in your head about it. So just with an intention to breathe divine love and divine light into your heart. Just allowing yourself to do that. With the in-breath, receiving divine love and divine light. And with the exhale, exhaling the non-love and non-light that's there in your heart, that's in your life. Just intending and asking for help. Help me to receive divine love and divine light, and help me to release the non-love and the non-light. And I say to open your heart like you would open up a summer cottage that's been shut down for winter, opening the blinds, opening the windows and letting the breeze in. Open yourself up. Just open wider. You're here. It's safe because it's just you. Nothing's going to happen that's unsafe, and it's you and the divine. Can't get safer than that when you're in the divine presence. So just with each breath, more love, more light. With each exhale, releasing what is not love, what is not light. Just with the intention. You don't have to focus on the non-love. Just let it go. Focus on receiving love. Because divine love, divine light is always here.
I absolutely love the opening up of the cottage. That is,
yes.
Oh my gosh, so perfect.
Yes,
I was
open
literally
it,
going through, yeah.
Yeah, and you see the light coming in and streaking in and the love just filling you up. And do this, I do this every day. Well, okay, not every day. I intend to do it every day. And when I don't do it every day, I don't judge myself for it if I'm busy and I forget or I'm distracted. But with the intention to fill yourself up with divine love and divine light, you can be in the darkest dungeon, and yet divine love and divine light can penetrate that. You might only feel a little drip of it, but do it again the next day and the next day and the next day. And that will bring you out of darkness into light, out of fear, out of suffering into love. And it builds, it's with practice, it builds more, you receive more. The more you practice the receiving, that strengthens your receiving muscle. The more you practice that, the more you receive.
I love that. And on the beautiful receiving, let's get back into receiving when we get back. How to receive. I love that. So after the commercials with Noemi, Grace, and Lisa Berry.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me the Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
All right, Noemi, I have to ask a question about these lovely angels because, we're really dedicating some space to them. So can you not introduce us, but kind of give us, like, how many archangels are there, and is each archangel, are they able to do everything, or is one angel always specifically for one thing?
So I have to say that I don't know the exact number of archangels, and if you read about them and you've familiarize yourself with them, you'll see that they have different functions, right? So the two that I have an affiliation with, or affinity for, I guess they said, a connection with, are very famous ones, right? Michael with the sword, luminous warrior, and Gabriel, right? Coming in to Mary to announce the birth of Christ. And so each angel does have a specific function, but of course they overlap as well. And they're not going to say, as far as I know, they're not going to say, not my job, if they happen to be present and help is needed. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not I'll wait for Gabriel, to do the messaging, or Ariel and Raphael, which you have an affinity with Raphael. They're for they're healer angels and stuff. So they do have different functions, but the function in general is love and service and love.
Service, right?
Service and love. So how to be of service. Sometimes when we're willing to be of service, we get asked to do something that was not our intention, just like us here today with the angels, and which was something I did not intend, but it's been a gift that you've been really clear, Lisa, about angels. No, the angels are here. We need to talk to angels. Angels are talking to us. We need to hear. And so,
right.
So I wouldn't say I'm the expert on the archangels, but I have experience with a few, and they've been really, really powerful. Michael has really helped in some of the soul healing sessions that I do. And soul healing, we're healing things from at the soul level through all time and space, and so very instrumental. And I was told that I didn't read part of the message, that Gabriel's been helping me as I'm becoming the messenger of divine love as self-love, and in my book, and so many other beautiful messages about forgiveness and divine grace, that Gabriel's been by my side, and I didn't even know it.
No, and okay, there's the thing. So that's I'm so curious. I was like, so in August, that's where this whole angel word came to me, and I thought, well, is it me thinking of them, or are they coming to me? And I'm only, I can only hear them so much. Like, they was powerful, and they kept saying yes, 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 access to angels, and you've got access in these angels things, and so I wonder, like, I'm so curious around. Like, does an angel pick us? Like, does an archangel pick us, and they're kind of like knocking on our door, and then, is it a two-way street? Are they coming to us?
It is a two-way street. It is a two-way street. Our souls have been on a journey throughout long time, not just however many years old you are today in this incarnation. And so our souls have been on a long journey, and through that time and space, we have experienced connection with different angels, but each soul has its own unique essence and its own unique purpose. And so we are going to attract those angels that are going to help us become that highest version of ourselves, to become who we are in fullness. And so when we come into this world, we're here to heal something, to receive something, and to give something. And so whatever that is, I came in apparently to become a messenger, which is not anything I ever intended or expected or even imagined. And so whatever that highest purpose of us, that highest function of us is, we're going to align then with the archangels that can help us with that. And of course, there are guardian angels, which we could talk about on another day, but because there's a whole lot with that. But and so it is really our highest vibration, our highest alignment.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay, so that's I love that, your highest vibration, highest alignment. Because so if Raphael kind of introduced himself to me, or herself to me within the past 2 weeks, let's say, and you mentioned that he's it. I don't know what to call it. A he, she.
Yeah, because they're he, she. Really, they're not. They're not. They're not he or she or he plus she. It's different. When we do that, and we make God a he, and we make angels he, or Gabriel is sometimes a she. We do that. We're sort of attributing human qualities to the divine,
right,
and to the divine realm.
So in this situation, though, because you mentioned he's a healer in that one, so am I aligning to him because I am needing healing, or because I am working on becoming my own healer?
You can answer that question. Because you know the answer to that question.
Well, because with Gabriel being a messenger, and he, you have such a connection with him because you are becoming, you are a messenger. So it's not that he necessarily is bringing you messages, which he is, but it's there's that two-way street again, isn't it?
It really is. And so when you have this resonance, when Raphael was the one that sparked a fire in your heart, then you discover something about yourself. My highest self, my highest vibration, my highest purpose is healing. So healing yourself and those around you. And sometimes we heal by becoming healed. Others get healed around us.
Yes.
And in the old days, they'd have the miracle healer that you could heal in their presence. But, Marianne Williamson talked about, as we are liberated by our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And so, she said that in a return to love. So there's a way in which we just become what we are for ourselves, we give to others. So if we're a healer, we heal ourselves, we heal others. It doesn't mean that now you have to change your career and become a Reiki master or do whatever.
Right.
And maybe you do, but you'll know,
Right. I love that. Interesting question. Are archangels, were they previously humans? Like, will I turn into an archangel? Like, is that possible? I don't know.
I believe not.
Okay.
Not previously human. No, created for service. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, we have these images of going to heaven and getting these wings and things like that.
Yes.
But the archangels are different. They're not human. They're a different beings than we are, and they're for service. And so, what a high resonance. Now, I again, I'm not the expert on archangels, so if someone listening to this may say, oh, yes, we can become archangels, and I would certainly love to hear all about that. It is my understanding that they were created to be in service, and that we are ourselves returning back to wholeness and oneness with the divine through our soul's journey. And they are in oneness with the divine, so we will be one with them at some point.
I feel like I love that that's the best thing I've ever learned, to help me right now, is that angels were formed in love to be of service. And I wonder if one of the services right now is literally you just reminded me, is to bring us out of darkness and aloneness and isolation, to be in community. They're helping us. Their service to us is helping us all come together. I like that you said that too.
Yes. And this is, just bringing it back to my experience with becoming this messenger, the message that I am being helped with by Gabriel and, of course, the divine, is for humanity to return to wholeness and oneness with each other and the divine, and not to be in this place of separation and suffering that most of us live in. And so it really is just this beautiful understanding and growing and ability to receiving and changing, being willing to change your mind, to change your perception, because the things that I'm learning don't conform to everything I was taught, right? So if we want some help from the archangels and we say it's got to be this way, I need help here in the left side, and they said we're going to help you on the right side, and you're like, no, I insist on the left. Well, we can't see from the perspective that the angels and the divine can see, and maybe we need to go right and not left. Maybe we're at a fork in the road, and the road not taken, the road to be taken is on the right, and we're going, clear the path on the left for me, and it's the path on the right is being cleared, and that's part of how the angels help us.
I love that.
Right? Even in the two of us doing the show, you approached me and said, you had this vision of doing the show and callers sometimes, and access and angels, and I didn't really ever intend to do radio at all. It wasn't even something that was on my radar. I was looking to become a speaker, Not that I'm not a speaker,
and now you're
but
speaking all the time. Yes.
Yeah, well, yes, I speak all the time, but I was looking I was thinking I was going to be in front of a big room of people or something like that, and I might be. It's being willing, right? So there's that willingness. For me, the first step of anything is willingness. Because being willing to, if we want to hear the angels, we got to be willing to receive what the message is. And so if the message is something like you're slowly killing yourself by the choices you're making, and I was receiving a message like that at one point in my life, so I'll put that out there, right? But slowly killing yourself, say being in a toxic job or a toxic relationship, or eating, really having no time to eat healthy and eating things that are causing indigestion, and not sleeping 3 hours a night because you're too busy and things like that. So if that's the message and you want to receive more messages, well, what's your response to this first message? Are you going to listen to it? Are you going to make a change? So it's that willingness to change is so critical for humans. I mean, we just get stuck in a rut, and change is just too much work. And it doesn't have to be, but we perceive it that way.
Right. I was wondering if you want to ask Source if there's a message from the divine about how one could, what is the easiest, so there's not so much, struggle and strife. What is the best way to make space to have that willingness to gently and open up to be able to change our minds? Like to say, okay, I'm willing to, possibly change my mind if I'm,
Okay.
so-called.
So, all right. So let me see if I understand this. Your question is, what is the best way to be willing to change our mind and our perception? And you talk for a minute because I need a cough drop. I'll be right back.
Okay, you get a cough drop. Yes. And I'll share with everybody why this question is coming, because I really had an anti-relationship with angels myself. I kept thinking, I think it's because I was raised very religious, and to me, the angels, I just had a whole different relationship with them, or belief or non-belief in them. And I thought, I don't know, I don't want to believe in angels. I don't have a relationship with them. I don't want to. Even the word would just kind of rub me the wrong way. I thought, ugh, angels. But so I thought in August, a word there, August, something definitely said, no, you're not only going to start listening and having a relationship with angels, but you're going to literally put your name on a show that has the word angels in it. And so I went, all right. But I was like, why was I suddenly willing? Why? Like this is where this question's coming from. What in me said, all right, you're willing to change your mind? Because I didn't feel like I decided. So let's see what Source has to say about that.
But you were listening. I apologize. Usually I have a couple cough drops because sometimes when I'm talking a lot, the throat can get a little scratchy. Okay. And
yes, I was listening.
Apologize for the ruckus, but it was clearly time for you to speak and share something. So.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, they're there. Angels just that brilliant.
Yeah. So, one more second.
Okay.
Usually when it's challenging like this, there's something really good on the other end of it.
Oh, you did say it was hard.
So, sorry. It's just a lot of post-nasally stuff happening. So repeat your question again, please, Lisa.
Okay. We're looking for guidance on the best way to be willing to change our minds.
Okay. And are we 3 minutes to commercial?
Well, maybe we can push the commercial just by 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Let's dive in quick then. Okay. So just what I do is I get silent and connect with the divine, greet the divine, and then turn it over to them. Hello, divine. I'm here with Lisa and the listeners, and it's so important for us to know what is the best way for us to change our minds, to be willing to change, our perception and the way we're going about doing things. Hello, Noemi and Lisa and so many of you who will hear this. We're grateful for this question because it is change that frees you. It is change that opens you. It is change that takes you from where you are to where you want to be, from where you are to someplace so much richer and freer, a place where you are no longer suffering. And so that change is a frightening thing for many of you because you are accustomed to a certain thing and hanging on to that, attached to it, holding on to something as if for dear life. This is what I have. I can't let go of this. I can't let go of this, but can you give me something else while I hold on to this? And we say you must be willing to let go. There is a phrase, let go and let God, which we agree with. It is the willingness to let go. And if you cannot let go, the willingness to be willing to let go. Help me to be willing. I'd like to be willing. Right now I'm not willing to let go. I'm hanging on to this thing. But I would really like to be willing. Help me. Help me to let go. And that is, we will always help. We will always answer that question. We will always answer that prayer. That is a prayer. That is a request of the highest sort for divine assistance. And divine assistance is always available. It's always nearby. It's always with you. It's a breath away. Ask for the help. So be willing to let go and be willing to let go and be willing to ask for help to be willing to let go. And so we bring it back, further back, further back, further back. So if you can't let go and you aren't willing, be willing to be willing at least. And if you can't do that, ask for that. And so that as you shift from unwillingness or attachment, as we call it, to letting go, to open yourself to receive. And so the change comes through receiving. It is not through pushing. It is not pushing the boulder up the hill. It is not pushing through a bunch of barriers to get to the other side. Receive. Be willing to receive something different than you have been receiving, to be able to change yourself. First, you receive the gift of divine love. You receive the gift of divine wisdom. You receive the gift of your own wisdom, your own intuition. And in that place of receiving, now, you start to become more willing. So be willing to receive. If you're not willing to change, be willing to receive what you need to bring you to the point where you can be willing to change. And so one drop of willingness can create an ocean of change if you allow it. And so it is with that little drop of willingness to receive that will create an ocean of willingness to change. And so we say, start there. Receive our love. Receive our help. We are here to help. The angels are here. The angels are so present and always ready to help. They are omnipresent as we are, so there's not a shortage of their ability to help. And for us, the divine source, there is not a shortage ever of our ability to help you. And so be willing to ask for that help. Be willing to receive that help. Be willing to receive one drop of divine love and allow it to transform your life. We are complete in this moment with this transmission. Namaste.
That was so helpful. so helpful to me. I love that. Thank you so much. We'll go up to commercials when we're back. We'll share you more about how to listen to the angels.
radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm so glad we're back, and Noemi's just having so many things flooding her way that her little nose is getting stuffed up and her throat scratchy, but that just means that there's a lot going on. There's like literally going on here. And Noemi, I just want to take this moment when you channeled that beautiful answer, and I want to thank you for allowing Source to share that with me. Just as you were doing your quiet opening your listening channels, I immediately received like oh my gosh, this is why I did not want to believe in angels. And I felt kind of bad, but I wanted to share with everybody because this is how important these things are to explore. I was not ready to let go of, ready for this, the blame that I had on my mom for pushing me into this religion that I was actually, like, I was scared. I grew up scared of religion because she had so much going on, and she had so much, she was like an evangelist almost. I don't know, but I don't even know if I use that word correctly, but and I was scared as a child. I didn't understand, and I felt that, okay, good, the angels stay at church. So that's where they stay. That's where they belong. And if I go there, then I have the priest and everybody to protect me, kind of thing, because I was afraid of them. And my fear of changing my perception, changing my mind was I didn't want to let go of the blame because I'm angry with my mom over it. Obviously, now I have something to work on. And also, I felt that if I changed my mind of punishment, like, no, you said like you mentioned, it's our identity. We're attached to it. And I felt like if I change my mind, I'm good. There's going to be consequences. So thank you so much for see how channeling is such a gift. People don't realize maybe if they have never had a question channeled for them that I strongly suggest that urge you to get in touch with Noemi to have a question channeled, because things like this was huge for me right now to receive this clarity. So thank you both, Noemi and Source.
And I never heard any of that before. I don't even, sometimes I retain most of it when I channel, but not every last word. And there was something about a drop of receiving something can create an ocean of change or something.
Yes, a drop of willingness to receive can make an ocean of change and transformation. There you go. I was living.
I'm writing that down.
Well, I'm going to ask you now, I don't know, you don't know, we both don't know until you check in, but is there perhaps an opportunity for one of the archangels to deliver a message through you right now?
In the midst of the sniffles and so see, is that right? So am I willing to receive? Am I willing to receive the message now, or am I willing to stay? Am I going to stay and, well, I'm too sniffly. Maybe Lisa, you should talk for the rest of the hour or something,
Yes, I see
right?
now.
So it's that willingness is always, it always comes up. Are we willing? Are we not? So I was talking with Gabriel a week ago after I found out that Gabriel's been by my side this whole time. And so I said, can you hear me? And of course the answer was yes. And Gabriel did have a lovely message, so I'll see if I can connect with he, she. And actually Gabriel's one that's sometimes depicted as a she, but I was told neither he nor she. So
Yes.
the beingness of Gabriel. So we're going to do this experiment. This is not, I've not channeled this live in front of anyone. I've had one really deep and meaningful conversation with Gabriel, who's been by my side. And so this is an experiment, and this is an experiment in willingness.
You guys are listening to this first time,
we
firsthand ever.
Yes. So this is also this is a choice to be willing. So here's here's an example of being willing to do something, to go someplace you haven't gone before. So again, I'll go into silence and speak with Gabriel. Gabriel, I was going to say if you're listening, but I know you're listening, and I'm so grateful. I have to say that I'm so grateful to have found out that you've been by my side as I've been channeling these divine messages and writing them in my book, An Intimate Dialogue with God, and sharing that with the world and this radio show. I'm so grateful that you've been here with me, and I didn't even recognize that. So I just want to thank you and ask you if there is something you would like to say, or would you like to share some of what we talked about the other day? Noemi Grace, greetings from the divine realm. I am here with a message for you and for all of you, all of humanity. We all in the divine realm observe you suffering and struggling, all of you, and your isolation, your individuality is in isolation. This time of life that you are in, this time of the evolution of humanity, is one of isolation to the extreme for many. And we live in community. We angels, we live in community. We serve in community. We enjoy in community. And I am here as a representative of that community, speaking to the community of humanity, the importance to return from isolation into connection, from individuality into community, not to abandon the individuality, but to embrace community, to be willing to be part of something bigger than yourselves, to not spend your days self-absorbed and absorbed with your problems, but to expand yourself, and in community of like-minded and like-hearted souls, you will raise your vibration. You will be able to receive freedom. And you crave freedom, so many of you. You feel unfree. You feel trapped. You feel suffering. And you do not know how to find that freedom. And in the individuality that you embrace so strongly is a certain type of freedom. But there is a certain type of bondage if it is taken too far. I am here as a representative. I do not speak alone. The whole heavenly host is here with me. We are encouraging you to come out of isolation as if you are each living in caves. This is the modern caveman days. It is as if you are all living in caves of your own creation, to be willing to come out of that isolation and embrace community. And you may say, I don't have community. I don't know where to find community. It comes back to the willingness. It comes back to recognizing that alone you are suffering. Alone you are unable to connect deeply to others and be filled up in the way that you desire. And so to embrace community takes you out of yourself. It takes you out of your mind, whether it's brilliant or not. But the mind is a source of suffering for so many, for most of you. And so that willingness to embrace something bigger than yourself. Invite community into your life with the intention. Ask us, angels, help me to be willing to leave the isolation where I am living, to leave the suffering that I am feeling, to become part of a greater whole, to feel that connection. And it is in that connection that you, humanity, will take yourselves to the next level. We are cheerleading you. We are leading you and cheering you on to a next form of existence where you are not isolated and alone and suffering, where you are open and receiving others and connecting from your heart. We are talking community of the heart. We are not talking movie of the month club. And we have no judgment of movie of the month club or book of the month or anything. But what we are saying to you is a community of the heart will fill you and bring you into more of who you are, into the highest possible version of you, the highest possible experience of you in the world, and will fill you up. This is a time, a pivotal time in human development. Are you going to continue to become more and more isolated and alone, or will you reach out? Will you invite community? Even the idea of community, even if you are too afraid for community. It is through this community, is through joining together, you will raise each other up. You will lift each other up. And we will lift you up as you lift each other. And you will not be suffering alone. There is so much suffering alone. Depression is rampant on your planet. Sadness, loneliness. And we are here to tell you that these do not have to be part of the human experience. But as long as you isolate and withdraw from connection, you will experience that. Withdraw from community. Open your hearts to receive us and to receive the community that you invite just by opening your heart. It may not happen overnight, but with an open heart, you will create a new life for yourself. And this is the message that I am here as a representative to deliver from the heavenly host. Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. Wow.
Ooh, I like the heavenly host too. Whoa, in the realm of the archangels. Wow, there's some great beginning and end starting.
Yeah, the heavenly realm, I think. Yeah.
Oh, and upon it, because we have our minute left, and I'm so thankful and grateful for Gabriel for showing up, for saying yes, and allowing, and you for saying yes, because I knew that was a big thing. That was a really big thing, and you are willing to do big things, and that's why I would love for you to just take this last final minute to invite people to take that same willingness step and go to your page there that you have that offer to invite people to have a channeled message with you.
Yes. So I love to channel the message to answer whatever question it is that your heart has that maybe you can't even voice to other people. Maybe you can't, it's hard to embrace that question, but something that will take you and bring you into more joy, more freedom, the next step of your life, and take you out of where you're struggling. And so if you go to noemigrace.com/access, so that's NOEMI, Grace, GRACE.com/access, I have a special offer for a channel message for you, or you could buy one for your loved one.
For Christmas.
I'd be happy to do that. Yes, for any Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday. So, and so thank you for that reminder, Lisa.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for this very special, very first ever unique show. And everybody, our message today is to be willing to listen, then to listen, and allow the service of the angels to be delivered to you and to bring you into community. That's my piece.
Okay. That sounds great.
Thanks, Noemi. We'll talk to everybody
Thank you,
and hear
Lisa.
everybody listen soon. Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Happy holidays.